All right, so it says the graph y of x is equal to this, and this is called a piecewise graph because like it's kind of following the equation of one line between -4 and -3 here. And then you either it has a second part, then it like turns at this point and then it's going a different direction, right? So it follows the equation of another line. So that's different, right? Okay, and this is the graph of y equals f of x. So there's a function f of x. It's this weird looking hill thing, okay? Then they said they want us to draw this new graph g of x. And all they did to get g of x is just they took the original function and they subtracted 1 inside the parentheses here. Now, when we subtract inside the parentheses, as opposed to outside the parentheses. So we've seen in a previous example, we saw where we could have the function f of x. We had a function and we subtracted outside this parentheses. So now just this is what inside the parentheses looks like, a subtraction inside the parentheses of the f of x function. This is called what we see inside parentheses is called the argument of the function. So we're subtracting from the argument of the function itself. And then above here, we see that we're subtracting on the outside of the argument of the function. So from the previous video, we learned that when we subtract on the outside of a function, that it simply moved the function. It changes the y coordinates because the f of x is equal to y. So it's just saying take the y coordinate and subtract 1, right? So it affected shifted the original graph of f of x up or down, depending on what if this was negative or positive. Okay, now that we're subtracting inside the argument, inside the parentheses, that is going to affect the graph differently. It's going to affect the graph moving it left or right because we are affecting the inputs, the x coordinates of the graph. So if this makes sense, hopefully this might make sense. If it doesn't, it's okay. To get back the original f of x with its original corresponding y coordinate, I must add 1 back inside these parentheses so that I will have the same original the x value that would correspond to the original y values of the original function. So actually, it is a little bit different that we're going to see the function is actually pushed to the positive 1 space. So even though we see a -1 there, we're actually going to be moving the function g of x is actually moved in the positive 1 direction, knowing and we're going to be moving the x coordinates 1. And like I said, because this subtraction is going on inside the argument. So let's look at how we can do this. So what's literally going to happen, we're going to see this graph and it's going to be picked up and moved to the right, which is the positive horizontal direction, 1 space. And there we go. That is g of x. Now, I understand that that might be a little hard for you to just pick up the graph and move it. So it's probably easier when you go to plotting this other one to focus on 3 individual points and moving those 3 individual points 3 spaces. So notice how we moved this point here, we moved it 1 space to the right. We moved this point here 1 space to the right. And we moved this point here 1 space to the right. So if we can just move those 3 points and graph those 3 points, then we can get our correct answer here. So to help you do this, first, notice where the original point was located, and we can add 1 to its x coordinate. And then we can graph those 3 points over on the other graph. So let's focus on each of the original points on the graph. So let's see. This first point is located on the x coordinate um, for -4 and 0, 0 on the y coordinate. So we're going to add 1 to because that's the to the x coordinate. So that will become -3, 0. So that is the um, coordinates of the new g of x function. So I can easily graph this on this side. It's -3, 0. There it is. Okay. Then I take this point. It was originally located at -3 and +3. Now I'm going to add 1 to the x coordinate, and then that -3 plus 1 will be -2, 3. So that's why we're going to be at -2, +3 here. Then last but not least, we take the last point. It's located at 3, -1, and I'm going to add 1 to the x coordinate, and that becomes 4, -1. So I go 4, -1, and there you go. So that's all you have to do to get that one right. You have to graph these 3 points and then press submit. So just so that we can just make sure that it's accepting our answer the way we're inputting it like this, I'll go ahead and do it for you. So I just press the point here, the point there, and the point there, and I press submit. And there we go. It likes it. Okay. I know from another video, I put another point that we didn't really need on there, and it was upset with me. I didn't like that. I added an extra point that we didn't need. So just so you know, if you're getting it wrong, just only put the 3 points that are absolutely necessary to put. All right. Have a great day. Bye.